everyone, and welcome to this 2-in-1 tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Too Faced Natural Eye palette to get a natural daytime look and a dramatic nighttime look. Now, the daytime look is not only very natural, but it's also very, very quick and easy to do. So great when you're in a rush to get out the door. It's using some of the matte shades in this palette, as well as, you know, this unique shade right here that I love. For the nighttime look, it's just all about building up the intensity on the eyes. We're going to be going into some of the deep shades in this palette and really working with them, not only in terms of shadows, but we're going to amp up the liner a little bit, and it's just going to be a really special look. I think it would be absolutely perfect for any holiday parties or get-togethers you have coming up where you just really want to look special and really polished and dramatic. I think this is the way to go. Okay, this first step of the eye tutorial is so easy. We're going to go for this shade first right here. It's called Heaven, and it is a matte kind of creamy white shade. So just take any flat eyeshadow brush and just get that all over the inner part of your eyelid. Next, take the shade right next to that, which is Velvet Revolver, and this is another matte color. It just is kind of like a matte, very light taupe, and it's almost hard to distinguish the difference between these two shades, but I can kind of tell that what I'm putting out here on the outside is just slightly deeper than what I have on the inside. Take any fluffy brush, go back to Heaven, that first shade we used, and just kind of apply that all up under your eyebrow. Then just for a touch of shimmer, I'm just barely touching my brush to Silk Teddy right here. It's a super shimmery shade if you apply it concentrated, but use it with a fluffy brush and you just get the prettiest little sheen right there on your brow. Then I'm going to take a medium-sized crease brush. This is from my Essence of Beauty Crease Brush Duo, and I'm going to go to this shade, one of my favorites in the set, and it's called Push Up. And you can see it's kind of a warm, kind of a medium brown, but it's got a lot of warm rosy shades to it as well, or tones to it. And so I'm just going to look down in my mirror and apply this in my natural crease, and you're going to see just a little bit of deepening there, but it's nothing too crazy or unnatural. The more of this shade you apply, the more of sort of a warm rosy tone you're going to get here in the crease. So I just like to maybe go back for one more application to make it a little more concentrated, and then take my fluffy brush and use that to really buff it out and keep this a very natural look. Next, I'm taking my MAC Fluidline in Blitz and Glitz, and this does have a little bit of a sparkle to it, as you can see there, but overall it's kind of a dark black shade, and so I'm just going to apply that from my inner to outer corner here of my upper lash line. And I'm not winging it out right now. We're keeping this sort of, you know, obviously the natural version. So again, when we get to the outer corner, I'm not doing anything fancy with it, just kind of pulling it to the outside. On the lower lash line, I'm kind of making a little bit of a connection here in the outer corner and just taking whatever's left on my brush and smudging that right in my lower lash line. So it's not going to be a lot, and it's going to probably take you about halfway. Now, this shade in the palette is called Sexpresso, and it is a deep dark brown, and what I'm going to use for that is actually an angled liner brush. I think I grabbed the wrong one at first. And I'm just going to top off, take it in and under my lower lash line. Then I'm just taking a pencil type brush, run it over all of that on the lower lash line and just buff it out. It's going to look really natural, but still a little bit of definition. To complete the natural look, I'm just going to curl my eyelashes and apply a coat of MAC Zoom Lash Mascara. This is the first time I'm using this, so just kind of want some length out of this for the natural look. So I'll put that on and I'll join you with the finished look. So here's the finished natural look. I mean, it really just kind of polishes off the features without looking like too much. I've been asked for some really just super no frills makeup looks, and this would be one of them, I think. And so if you don't have this particular palette, I mean, you can come up with these colors elsewhere, probably in your collection, something a little bit similar. I also did just a little bit of the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the lower lashes just to bring them out a bit more. I think that's a very natural way. You know, if you do it lightly, that's a natural way to define the eyes as well. On my lips, I'm using a new MAC lipstick that I got. It is a cream sheen, and the shade is called Creme Cup. So that's where this kind of light pinky lip is coming from. Now let's take a break from the natural and get a step-by-step look at the dramatic look. Alright, for starters, one of the easiest ways to sort of transform the way your eye actually looks is to line your waterline. So I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Pencil Perfect eyeliner here and just go from the inner to outer corner there, and you will see kind of an instant difference in the way your eye looks. I'm going to go to one of my favorite shades in the palette. It's right here. It's called Erotica, and it looks like kind of a charcoal grayish taupe, and it's just a really pretty shade. And I'm going to get some of that on a smallish, either like a pencil brush or a small crease brush, whatever you have. And I'm going to start in on the inner corner, actually. And so we're going to build up a little bit more of a crease going right in here. So it's definitely going to be different from the other and different from some of my eye looks where I only concentrate the shadow on the, you know, outside. We're going to do some on the inside here. Go up as far as you feel comfortable, and remember you can always take a bare fluffy brush and kind of blend this out just a little bit more. Using that same brush I used to initially apply that, it's kind of a smudgy pencil type brush. I'm going to take Erotica down under the eye as well. This is just such a pretty shade because it has that shimmer and shine, but yet it's really dark. I don't know. It's just a nice combination. Really easy way to transition your makeup from day to night if you don't want to go through, you know, redoing it all completely from scratch. You know, you can just extend your liner out and you've got a cat eye. So going back to the cream liner we used at first, this is again MAC's Fluidline and Blitz and Glitz. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of that product and basically extend the liner out to form this sort of cat-eyed look. So I'm extending the liner from the top, as you see there, but I'm also creating more of a connection around the bottom and bringing it down under the lower lash line somewhat. Okay, so I just want a little more dramatic on the lower lash line, about halfway under with the Fluidline there. And so now we see what we've got to work with in terms of doing the outer V with the shadow. So I'm taking the darkest shade in this palette, Espresso, right there, and I'm just going to pick some of that up on my fine crease brush. So this is like pretty much the smallest crease brush I have, and this gives me a lot of control for steps like this. So get my hair out of my face there, and I'm going to start about the middle of my crease, just overlapping Erotica, and you can see it's all deepening out, and I'm kind of working off the tip of the liner and just pulling it up a little bit higher than that. Once you've got the shadow applied, you know, it may look a little bit rough right at first, but if you these shades are so blendable, just take a fluffy bare brush and buff over the top of it, and you will have a blended out look. Now with an angle liner brush, I'm taking Espresso again, and I'm going just under the Fluidline, and this is just going to soften that look up a lot more. Next we want to accent this look a little bit more with some more bold highlights. So I'm going to go to Silk Teddy, this shade right here. It's pretty shimmery, and I'm going to pick some of that up on a flat eyeshadow brush and just get some of that working for us as more of a highlight right under the brow. And then we're really going to make the corner of the eye pop with this amazingly shimmery, glittery shade right down here at the bottom called Nude Beach. This is just out of this world sparkly. So I'm going to take a small detailed brush, and I'm going to just go pat that right around the tear duct. Obviously staying outside the tear duct, but I'm just patting it on right around there. It's just kind of look like a little explosion of sparkle right in the corner of your eye. I'm going to give myself one more coat of the Zoom Lash on the upper lashes and another coat of the Lash Discovery on the bottom, just because we have been working with a lot of shadows here that could, I guess, sort of tone down the blackness of that mascara. So we want to top that off for a finishing touch, and then I'll join you with the finished look. Alright guys, here is the finished dramatic look. As you can see, much more contouring on the eyes, and it's a little more time consuming than the first look, obviously, because you're kind of building on that first step. Keep in mind, if there are some steps that you would rather not do, if you just wanted to stop at the point where we kind of did the Erotica shade there on the crease and made it a little more heavy that way, and you want to leave out the winged liner or whatever, use whatever portions of this look you enjoy the most and just make it your own if you want to. I only changed up the lip a little bit in that I made it a little more pouty for the nighttime look. I took a light shimmery, light shade. It's Lip Lights from Bonne and Spun Sugar, and I just put it on the lower lower lip, and it just gives you that instantly pouty look. So I didn't really do a whole lot to change the face makeup. I just kind of liked it how it was. I thought it worked for both scenarios, but if you wanted to bump it up with a little more contour or a little more highlight, by all means go for it. I really am a fan of this palette because I feel like it offers some unique colors that I really haven't seen a lot, such as these two right here that I love. Some ultra shimmery highlights. I mean, this is just a great little sampling of highlight shades to have here. You've got a matte, you know, creamy shade, you've got a shimmery metallic, and then you've got ultra sparkle. So I love having these options, and it's just great to have a palette that can take you from day to night. And I also want to point out, with this palette, there's a little place here where you slide out and they give you ideas for several different looks: day, classic, and fashion. And that's basically, if you look across, it's designed so the shades work in threes across. So keep that in mind if you've got this palette and you're looking for ideas, or you want to go beyond what I've shown you here. Those are some options you have as well. I just want to tell you real quickly how I got my hair in these videos, and it's super easy. I mean, the hair in this is just as easy as the makeup was. I basically had my hair just a little bit curly and already, and so what I did, I gave a little bit of a tease in the crown, and then I just took a clip. This is kind of just a, I'll just unclip it because I can just as easily redo it for you. One of these clips, I mean, I know some people don't like to use big clips, but in a way, I mean, I feel like this is just very natural and it blends right in with my hair. But I'm pulling all my hair over to one side and just clipping it, just kind of pulling this right down behind my ear to gather it up. Can't even see the clip from the front, but it just kind of collects all your hair there at the side, and it looks like a cute little side ponytail. Can't get much easier than that. Now for the nighttime look for the hair, you could obviously go the same. I mean, I think the first do was kind of appropriate either way, but I threw on this little headband that I showed in my recent haul video. This is from Forever 21, but I've seen these in a lot of different places. And I think that sparkle, even if it's kind of a casual, super easy hairdo, I think this automatically makes people think maybe it's a little more fancy. So much like the eye look, the hair look just builds on itself. Instead of leaving this in a ponytail, I just kind of scrunched it up into a little low side bun. Nothing hard or complicated. And then I stuck the clip kind of right underneath the bun in the back. So it's really not even that detectable if you were looking at it from the back side, but it's just real easy. Don't stress yourself out too much about it. Just keep it kind of loose and simple, and it's really fun. So thanks so much for tuning in to this 2-in-1 tutorial. These are always so much fun to do, and I hope you have a wonderful day.